What's up, ladies and gentlemen, back again with another video, and today we're going to be reviewing the Bob's Burgers movie. Now, the Bob's Burgers movie is something a little different from, like, in comparison to, like, the Simpsons movie or, like, the Family Guy movies. I believe in this film and Bob's Burgers, the movie, they're kind of going about their day working on the restaurant, and I guess there's some sort of big old hole that ends up cratering it right nearby the restaurant. And as they're doing that, I guess like they discover the remains of a particular body, and then they're trying to figure out on who done it. At the same time, Bob is facing some financial problems because he is behind on his rent with his landlord, and if he doesn't pay it in time, then he's going to lose his restaurant. Somehow his landlord kind of gets involved in this whole murder plot thing, and Bob's kids end up conducting an investigation on who done it, like who was behind the murder of one of the Carneys. That they kind of pretty much they give you a little teaser like at the beginning of the film, but yeah, Bob's paranoid and where he doesn't know what to do. His wife's trying to comfort him, and the kids are more curious. They want to know what's going on. They want to figure out who the murder was. So throughout the film, they end up conducting their own investigation, going around town and interrogating certain people, trying to get certain answers and whatnot. And pretty much that's like the plot line of the movie. Also, the film has a ton of musical numbers in this film. More musical numbers than The Bad Guys, who I reviewed last week. I believe The Bad Guys had probably like maybe 2 or 3 musical numbers. Bob's Burgers, the movie, had a little bit way more than that. When watched it on The Bad Guys, it seemed to come off as more organically. When they do the musical numbers on here, it kind of takes you out of the movie because you're already driven by the plot of the film. The whole thing with the investigation of who done it, who murdered the Carney, and they kind of throw you off when they start dropping the musical numbers in the middle of the scene. So it kind of takes you out of the element of the film. Other than that, I don't think it's a bad film. It really doesn't really pick up until like maybe the second or third portion of the film. That's when it really starts to get really, really interesting. I remember I was watching it, and then my Wi-Fi cut out in the middle of the film. Wi-Fi cut out on the connection. I was like, dang, this is right when it was getting good. So I had to wait until that got sorted out in order to finish the last portion of the movie. But no, there's some pretty interesting scenes in here. And Bob tries to figure out a way how he gets, salvage his restaurant, still sell burgers, while his kids are over here trying to solve a crime that they have no business of solving. The police officers, I believe one of the detectives in the film, I don't know who the detective is played by, but whenever he delivered his lines, it sounded very hilarious. He said a few funny things here and there, but he's pretty much like a side character throughout the film. They really don't try to conduct an actual serious investigation on who did what, so that evidence doesn't get brought to them until later on in the film. It's like a regular episode of Bob's Burgers, except it's driven with a bigger plot line of the movie. And like I said, you kind of get into it. Around you get into it, that's when they start doing these random musical numbers in the film. Do I recommend it? Well, if you're into this type of animation, or if you're a big fan of Bob's Burgers, I recommend this film. If you're a casual viewer, most likely you'll probably just watch it on a streaming service. I believe they recently put it out on Hulu. But if you're like a big fan of Bob's Burgers in general, you're probably going to pick up the Blu-ray or DVD copy and add it to your library along with the rest of your films and the seasons of Bob's Burgers, which I believe there's like 12 or 13 seasons of the show. That's how long it's been on the air. Now, the question is, do I think this is a good film? Do I think this is a bad film? I thought it was a pretty entertaining film. I didn't think it was good or bad. It certainly, like I said, it went by. The first portion of the film kind of come off as like typical Bob's Burgers, but it really didn't pick off until like the second half of the movie. Now, the second half of the movie, I was really invested into it, and I thought it started to get way more interesting until you finally got to the actual conclusion and whatnot. But yeah, so I'd probably have to give this one a C, and I'd probably have to give it like 2.5 stars out of 5. Now, have you seen Bob's Burgers? Are you a fan of the Bob's Burgers TV show? Let me know, comment below, and I'll see you guys around for the next video. So y'all have a great day, and I will see you next week. Y'all have a great one now. Later.